Oh, happy Monday evening, everybody. Woohoo, we're here. And it is 6 o'clock. I'm on time for a change. How about that? Oh my goodness. So, ooh-wee. We're going to get started here in just a moment. And I got a few things I'm kind of going to do a show and tell. So, if you recall from our previous episode, which was on Saturday, this last Saturday, I was doing the small size of Little Red Riding Hood. This is what we're doing, everybody, right here. The Riley Blake Little Red Riding Hood Ragdoll series. Let me swap to a different camera. Okay, hold on. Let's go to a different camera. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to rotate that a little bit. But this is what we're doing. There's 4 dolls, the Big Bad Wolf, Grandma, Little Red Riding Hood, and the Lumberjack. And we're doing Little Red Riding Hood right here is the one we're working on. And you can make these in 3 different sizes, 14, 16, and 18. So I thought I would try one of the small ones, which was a 16. So check this out. This is one of the legs. I don't have it fully turned yet. Look how tiny this is. My finger won't even fit down into that hole. I will eventually get this turned right side out. So I decided to make the large size doll instead, the 18-inch one, to make this online process go just a little bit smoother. So, what I just finished in the hoop is the same one that I did on Saturday, right here. These are the legs and the pigtails. Okay, so that's done. Now, I'm gonna hoop some more stabilizer, and that was our first hoop number 1. Tonight we're gonna work on the arms and the apron. And yes, the apron is embroidered. There are, let's see here, 11 steps. The little apron's cute. It's going to have mushrooms embroidered on the corner of the apron. Isn't that cool? Hi, Mark. Hi, Carol. Welcome. So that's what we're doing. I have switched from the small to the large doll simply because hopefully it'll be easier to turn inside out. Hi, Ernestine. No, just getting started, Ernestine. You're fine. So, check it out. I've just finished embroidering this. This is the same thing I did on Saturday, so there was no reason for me to do that on camera. Instead of small, this is the large size. I'm going to take it out of my maxi hoop. There we go. Okay, and we'll cut this out while we're stitching out part of the other tonight. And what we're going to do, I need to hoop a piece of stabilizer. Okay. I'm going to attempt to do this without having to take my hoop out of the machine. We'll see how that goes. This is not a magnetic hoop. This is a Bernina only type of hoop. It's got a twist knob here, like a ratchet. And to release it, you just pinch these 2 buttons in, and that releases your inner hoop. So once I put this back down on here, get my inner hoop lined back up, and yes, I could take it out and just do it right here beside the machine, but check this out. I want to think of a quilt sandwich. This would be easy to do with a quilt sandwich. I'm just going to take up some of the slack before I really tighten it up. You want to turn the knob until you hear 1 click. And you'll audibly hear the click, and then you'll know not to go any further. Okay. Not there just yet. Okay, I am going to take it off of the machine. Hold on here. Let's just go right down here. This will make it easier. Move this stabilizer. Okay. Now we'll just get our stabilizer centered. This is no-show mesh. Okay. And there was that one click, and there it is, all hooped. That's how easy that stuff is to put in your hoops. Love these Bernina hoops right here. It sure does, short of a magnetic hoop, boy howdy, it's really easy to hoop with one of these. And this hoop will fit on the 7 series, the 8 series, and now the 9 series as well. This is the maxi hoop. Let me get a sip of my coffee here. Okay, so there's that. Next, we are going to, I've got this up on my screen. There's the layout for it. This bottom part here is the apron. Then there's the 2 arms. Now notice a line right there. So I had to piece 2 pieces of fabric together. I already got that done and have it pressed right here. So this is the top, the sleeve, and this will be the actual arm. Okay. So I'm using unbleached muslin for the body and the arms. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stitch down the placement lines. So I'll just go to stitch out mode. Okay. All of that is good. And now it's going to stitch down my placement lines on the stabilizer. Woohoo, and we're off. Okay, everybody, so there's my placement lines, and we'll be doing the arms first. And you know, you should always read the instructions before you start stitching anything. Well, I pre-sewn these together, but no, it is going to do that for me in the hoop. I'm a goober. I just have to run and give this a quick press. My iron is already hot. I'll be right back. Okay. Excuse me. There we go. Now we're back with that. So the first thing I'm going to place, and let me pick up my camera so I can explain what I'm going to do here. So you see this line right here? That is where we're going to stitch, that's going to be the stitching line for the two pieces of fabric. So we're going to have the muslin here where the hands are, and then the shirt sleeves will be right there. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to lay down my muslin first. Okay. Right there. And then I'm going to, with right sides together, I'm going to put my blouse material right on top for the shirt. Here we go. And then I'm ready to make my first stitch. Once it stitches these two together, then I will flip the red fabric over and it will do the outline. So here we go. And one thing I am going to do, I'm going to trim a little bit of this excess fabric off right here, down to, I'm just going to eyeball about 1/4 of an inch. You know what, I'm not either going to do that. Let's just see what this does. Let's just go for it. I'm going to flip this back, finger press that down. Okay. And then we are going to do our next stitch down. Okay. This will be a tack down stitch. We're doing the arms, that's what this is. These are the parts for the arms. I do still consider this my practice piece, everybody. So I'm just using fabric I have in my stash. Okay, awesome. Next, let's see, let's look according to this. That was 3. We are going to we're going to place the arm backing fabric down, aligning the seams. So I did need to have one of these already seamed together. Let me go over here to my other machine, and I'm gonna move the camera so you can see where I'm going. Right over here. Going over here to the 790. I'm just going to do like approximately a 1/4 inch seam. Move that camera out of the way. Okay, easy peasy. Now we'll come back over here. Okay, move this camera. There we go. Now there, I just sewed that seam. I'm just going to finger press it open. I'm going to finger press it so that all the seams go to the dark. Finger and thumb press. I'm going to lay this right on top and I'm going to align those seams as best I can, approximately. Right there. Okay, and we're going to press the start button. I'll do the same thing on this side. I'm just holding this down so that that seam doesn't get caught up over the top of the foot. That's the only reason I'm doing that. The rest is all good. Alrighty. Next, we're going to work on the apron, the front of the apron down here. And let's see, we're going to do a tack down stitch. Let me get my piece of fabric for that. Seven. Okay, 5x7 piece of muslin. Okay, we're going to tack that down. And next, we need brown for the mushroom stems. Let's see here. I'm just going to use what I've used before. It's the other brown that I used previously. Keeps continuity going and all that fun stuff. There we go. Get that needle threaded. Woohoo. Okay. So we're ready to do this next step here. And if you see on the screen here, it's actually going to do, those are going to be the mushroom stems. And if you look at this, I printed this off of the PDF for the instructions. That's what it's showing that it's going to print, is that right there. Stitch out. Okay, so we're going to press the start button. And now we can see there on the screen what it's working on. And I'm just picking out some thread colors, everybody. Just working on that. Be right back. Okay. Get this one opened up. Come on, you. Sometimes that plastic around these cones just don't want to, they just don't want to budge sometimes. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's lose the brown. This is kind of a pinky peach color, for lack of a better word. Pinky peach. There we go. Pinky peach. Hi, Janelle. Oh, wonderful, Janelle. So, Janelle, I have switched to making the large one. And, yeah, just so you know, I gave up for right now on making the small one because those little pieces, for me, with my dexterity, this is how far I've gotten on turning one leg on that small pattern. So I've swapped to the larger one just to make things go a little easier for me. Okay, so let's thread the needle. And we're going to hit the start button. So on the apron, we're going to have 3 embroidered mushrooms. So cool, check it out. And each one will be a different color. Next, let me go grab another color. We're going to do a sagey green, it looks like. Let me see what I have here. I'm going to do this green right here. Getting the plastic off of this cone. There we go. Really static. There you go. Let's get that thread started. Then we'll get this new color on and we'll stitch down embroidery out mushroom number 2. There we go. Okay. thread in that upper thread path. Here, no, not yet. Thread the needle first before you hit that start button, Richard. There we go. Woohoo! Let's get this one done. Didn't take long, did it? And next is kind of a brick red. Let's see what I've got over here. Let's see what we got. Nope. Bingo. That works. That works. There is a ready red. It is red. Okay. Okay, so let's take out this thread. We're going to replace it with our red. Red. And we're ready to stitch down mushroom cap number 3. Here we go. I'm going to press the start button. It's starting. There's the one we're on. There's the short side. Woohoo! Next, that is like an off-white that's going to put the spots on the mushrooms. See all those little white dots? So, let me get that. Off-white to a cream, I would say. Let me see. I'm just going to do this. See if I have something a little... I'm going to do this one right here. Okay. Going to do that one. There we go. Let's swap out the thread colors. Here's the one we just did. It's fun to thread around cameras, everybody. You've got to be a little bit of a contortionist. And it's all good. Okay. Thread. Thread that needle. Here we go. Perfect. Perfect, darling. Now, we just have to press the start button. And while it's stitching those out, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. This thread color is also going to stitch the underside or the heels of the mushrooms. Let's get a closer look at what's going on over here. Can't see it right there. Stitch out screen. Woohoo! So, next, what it's going to do next, we are going to put down the backing, right sides together, but since it's muslin, there's not really a right side or a wrong side, right? Yes. And this is just going to seam those two pieces. It's going to do the seam. Okay. I'll just press the start button. Let me think for a second. Yep, that works. And then when this apron is taken off, let me turn right side out and press so it has a nice crisp edge. Alrighty, woohoo! And check it out, second hooping is done. Woohoo! Alrighty, so what that means, I can take this out, but first, before I take this one out, I'm going to trim this out first. I'm going to do this on camera. Let me swap to a different camera over here, everybody. Okay. Swap to another camera. There we go. There we go. Just getting some stuff moved around here. So notice the difference in the size. So these are the large legs. Let me move this camera this way just a bit and down just a little bit. There we go. There's the difference in the size of just the legs. Small, large, 14-inch tall, 18-inch tall. Okay, so I'm going to use these and these. And first I'm just going to trim all of this out. It's about 1/4 inch from the seam. Okay, there's one leg. Just lay that right up there. There's one large leg. It's okay, Bobo, that's just me. It's okay, puppy. I know. I'm making noises with my chair, I know. It's okay, Puffy Wuffy. Yeah, I'm on a rolly chair and it bumped his bed. He was asleep and it woke him up. And it's okay, Bubby. Come back here. Go to your bed. Go to your bed, Bobo. It's okay. Yes, it's okay. You're my good boy. Yes, you are. Who's a good dog? Puffy's a good dog. Yes, you is. Come over here. Here. Come here. Here. There you go. Go to bed. Good boy. Good Puffin. He's such a good little dog. Who's my good boy? Puffy, you're my good boy. Yes, you are, Sugar. Your daddy's good boy. Okay, let's get this trimmed out now. And no, I am not saving these scraps, everybody. I've made myself get over saving scraps. Because you know what, if you don't do anything with them, they just accumulate until you've really got quite the collection. Then it becomes overwhelming. You don't even want to try to use them. So I'm just not doing that anymore. One pigtail. Two pigtails. Okay, let's get these scraps out of my way. go. Excuse me. So there are those. Those are ready to turn, except I have to clip curves. And what that is, this side is where was the back of the embroidery, right here. I'm going to clip using this side. This is my actual seam line. And just about 1/4 inch away, close to the stitching, but not into it, not over it. You don't want to clip any seam line stitches. Pretty cool. These little scissors are super sharp, so they're great for that. And what this does, when you're turning a curve, this will make it lay really nice and flat and all that good stuff. And the rest of that's all just a straight seam. So there's one. And we're just moving right along here. Next, I'm going to clip the curve on the pigtail for the part of the hair. And all that is black felt, crafting felt. You could use anything you wanted for hair, but what the instructions called for, or was recommended, was actually crafting felt. So this is black crafting felt. And I have some of it cut for the top of her head for her other hair as well. Just trim and try to make the turn go easier. I will say this, so far turning it right side out is the hard part for this project. It's harder than I thought it would be. But that is why I'm now doing the larger one. You can do the small one, it just takes time, everybody, a lot of time. And yes, I did get hemostats and all that kind of stuff to help turn with. It's still difficult to turn. But the design of it is really, really cute. Okay. We got this side of the curve to do. That black is hard to see, everybody. Here we go. Okay, those are ready to turn. Okay, so let's get our other hooping out. Let's set this to the side over here. I'm just going to bring the whole hoop over here. I want you to see how easy it is to take your hoops out. Where, Ernestine, where can I find what? The hemostats, I'm assuming is what you're asking. I will have a link in the description after tonight, but here's what I got. And what they are, they're just like little pliers, and here there's like 3 ridges where you can they'll lock into place, so then you can pull. Yeah, but that's what I got. And I will put a link in the description after this video is over. for the tools that I'm using. I'm also using this. This is called the Purple Thing by Gypsy Quilter. This I'm using more than anything to turn with, it seems like. I'll have a link for that as well. Okay, so to release the tension on the hoop, check this out. Right here, see that? There's a button here and over here. All I have to do is squeeze them, and it released my hoop. That is one thing I just love about these Bernina hoops. It makes it so easy to do. Okay. And that leaves us with 2 arms and an apron to cut out. And that's what we're going to do next. I'm just going to leave like about approximately a 1/4 inch seam. And if you have a local quilt shop, they should have all of these things I'm showing you, but if they don't, I will have a link, my Amazon affiliate link, where you can go and purchase some of them, what I'm using off of Amazon, if you need to. But by all means, if you can buy local, buy local. We want all these wonderful shops to stay in business. And what I'm going to do, I'll cut from this side, because that original placement stitch is actually the cutting line. Almost got that one. Trim this side here up. That is perfect. I think maybe I've been cutting too large, or leaving too much of a seam allowance, because that's a lot less there. See, this line right here, that's the actual seam line. Then this was the placement stitch line that I used as a cutting guide. So, I'm pretty close to it there. But anyway, there's one arm. Let's get the next arm. Tomorrow night, everybody, is serger night. I had to cancel my scheduled serger for Sunday at noon. I'll be doing that on Tuesday nights now for sergers. Here we go. And then we have one more piece. Where is it? Oh yes, the apron. Let me trim that up a little bit. I cut way too much of a seam line on that in some places. Let's see here. There we go. I know the apron's going to be easy to turn simply because it's a big piece of fabric, a much larger piece of fabric than the others. Okay, there's that. Alrighty. Let me get rid of these scraps. And I'm going to turn one leg. We're going to try to turn one of the legs on the large piece and see how that goes. Okay. So what I found, it's already easier. That little bit of extra room will make a difference. So what I found by experimenting with the small one is to get the opening started like this. Once you get that done, it'll be easier to do. So I'm going to take this and see how the end of this has a little bit of a curve and a hook on it. I'm going to stick that down in there. I'm going to hold on just to the piece that I've turned right there, and I'm just going to start wiggling it out just by putting a little pressure on it. Right there. Each time I get a bite, I'm going to go to the opposite side. I'm kind of doing it along the seam lines. It's extra difficult for me because I have my knuckle here is still swollen from my arthritis. It's slowly getting better. Mike went to the drugstore and got me a tube of Bengay, and that and ibuprofen has probably helped more than anything to help get an ice pack to get the swelling down. See, I'm making much faster progress with this larger piece than I was making with the small ones. Okay. Come on, you. What I'm going to do also is get this raw edge right here all the way out. There we go. There we go. And this is plastic and there's nothing, it's not a sharp point, so that helps. This is definitely something you'd want to sit down and do maybe while you're watching a program on TV or on Netflix or whatever. Or if you're at a doctor's office or on an airplane, yeah, this would be a good time to do stuff like this. This is going much faster than the small one was. I was really struggling trying to get one of the legs turned on the small one. But I will get it eventually. Then it helps when you get up to the wide part of the foot, I found, just to kind of roll it up together and go that way. It's getting there slowly but surely. Each time I do that, it's actually opening up some of the bulk I have in that tube. I'm only going to do one of these on camera, just so you can appreciate what I'm kind of talking about here. If you ever made this kind of stuff before, you know exactly what I'm referring to with this bit of a struggle. Now looky there, I was able to actually just push that one up, because where that embroidered shoe is, it's kind of stiff anyway. And I'm just going to work out some of this excess. I will definitely try that with a knitting needle. I have tons of knitting needles. I see what you're saying. Now it's all stuck right there in a gob. It's just that these are not very wide, the width to turn with. And the foot on these are extra wide and stiff because they've been heavily embroidered. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see something. Let me get my blade guard for this and try that. Right over here. Move, Bubbo. Move. 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 So my eyeball saw something. I'm going to give it a try because I think it's about the right size. This is the knee lift for my Bernina. Check this out. Let's see how this does. Yes, it fits right on top of that. Let's just give this a go like this. But see, now it's all squishy right there, so I'm going to have to pick it out like this before I can do any more. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. I just haven't figured it out yet. I would have liked the legs to have been a little wider this way. That would make it the turn. If it was just another ½ an inch wider this way, it'd been super easy to turn inside out. So if I was having to grade this, I would say this is probably the only thing on this pattern that I'm not crazy about. Because you can't just push it down this way and make it all come out, because it gets too much wadded right there. I hope that made sense. Let's try this. If I just run this up the side. I'm not a fan of this. Because to me, this is just, I would totally buy this and make it if I was going to give it as gifts. But would I try to make these to resell for a craft show? Good grief, no, not this way anyway. I just need to create my own doll pattern in the hoop, I guess. It's a cute pattern, don't get me wrong, really like it and dig it. But this is not a good thing. I'm not very patient, so that's all on me, of course. But it really is a beautiful pattern as far as that goes. Anyway, I'll finish that watching TV later. Just try one of the hands, see if that's any easier. The arms are not even as wide as the legs. This is for the large doll. I'm going to try something else a little different on this one. Well, it's easier to get it started that way anyway, but then it just runs right back into the same problem as the legs. It's too narrow to make it easy to turn. I'm trying not to be negative here, everybody. Hi Vanessa, yes, it is tedious. More tedious, I don't like to do this kind of stuff, and that's the other issue, which is becoming really evident here. Oh my goodness. So yeah, guess what everybody, I'm going to make my own in the hoop doll pattern is what this has taught me. Because it shouldn't be that difficult to do, okay? And yes, I got hemostats. I've tried those. That does not make it any easier just because these little tubes are so darn narrow. There's no room to manipulate once you get them down in there. Okay, I'll try that on this one here. Then it will roll up. Oh, I see what you're saying, I think. First you have to get it separated. Let's do that this way. Okay. There, it got separated that time, I think. Okay. Oh, I think we have a winner. Crockett, I think we have a winner. Let's see. See, the problem is on the foot or the hand, either one, the bottom part is super wider than the rest of it, and that's what makes it so difficult to get it going. But we're working it real good. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, what a workout. Come on, you. Get down there. What the heck? It's not going. Come on. Come on. No, it's doing the right thing. It's all bunched up right here at the hand. If I can just get past that. At this point, I don't care if it rips out the seam, quite honestly. Nothing should be that difficult to do, everybody. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Just trying to see something here. Now, let's try to do this then. We're going to cut this down. Oops. Where did my other camera feed go? Hold on. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to use the hemostat. Try to get a bite on it from this angle. Next. Okay. It's got a bite on the very end of it. Oy. I think it's where I had to seam this together in the hoop. I think that's what's holding it up, everybody. I really, really do. Let's see here. I've got a hold of that inner fabric, but it's like stuck right there for some reason. I don't know if it's because of the thickness of it. That is definitely in between the two fabrics. So that's what it is. It's got to get through this little channel right here. And we'll go back to this for a second. Trying to think where one of my knitting needles are now. It's definitely not that. Yeah, hold on. I think I see it. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, looky there. Okay. So, not sure what the heck that means. Oh, I see. I see what's going on here. That is my stabilizer. So somehow, way down here at the bottom of this thing, I didn't have all the layers correct when I started turning, is what it is. So, all is not lost. You know what? That's it. I'm done for tonight. And on the next episode, I'll have a solution. Short of redigitizing everything. Oh my goodness. That's fun. So let me get back to my other camera. Okay. There we go. Hello there. Oh my sewing goddess. That was interesting, to say the least. There has got to be a trick to that I'm just not aware of at this point in time. But I will tell you one thing. This is no bueno for me. No. So, love the design. That should have been tested out more before it was put to market, quite honestly. Maybe if I was using something more of a stretchy linen that had a bit more give to it, I don't know, maybe that would help a lot, trying to turn those really tiny, narrow arms and legs. But that's just not good. I'm just gonna say what I think. So, but we will find out a workaround for that. I guarantee it, because we're just going to do it. Oh my gosh, everybody. So, tomorrow night at 6 p.m. we'll be making pillowcases on the serger, and I'll probably be doing some piping on there as well. Ernestine, it can be done. I'm just going to have to play around off camera to figure out an easier way to do it than what I'm doing it. Side note, I have really big hands and fingers, so that makes my dexterity for something that tiny is not good. Not good at all. But just so you can get an idea of this, hold on. Let me swap to a different camera. There we go. You got that right. So there's the large one. That's why I've just been working on the camera trying to turn. Now these aren't turned yet. These are the legs, and this is heavily embroidery down on the end. Okay. Even the small one is. So there's a lot right down here to get going up there to get it to turn, because it's really stiff also. Now, there's where I'm at on one of the small legs. You can't even stick the end of your pinky. I can barely, on this one, get my little my purple thing up inside of that. I do think, like Crockett said, if you can get something started this way to ease it down over it, that would be great. But that's not the ease we just saw. There's a trick to that as well. Let's see, where was I? This one? Is this the one? No. Hold on. No, not you. Got to work on this one, because here is part of this problem. I started turning it from the toe, making the toe go inside first, and it went between fabric and this no-show mesh stabilizer. And that's why here I'm seeing, that's what I'm seeing right there. Now check this out though. This is a hand, everybody. And that's the end of it way down here. Look how tiny. And this is the large doll, and that's going to be an arm? I don't think so. I'm sorry. No offense to anybody who created this, but yeah. I just think it's just going to take a little time to figure it out. If I was sewing this on a machine, I know what I'd do. while I had in between the right sides of this before it was turned, I'd sew a cord on the inside edge of it, on the inside of this to help pull on to turn it. That's how I turn so. If I was sewing, that's how I turn something. In the embroidery hoop, though, that's a different story. Okay. So everybody, that's all I have for you tonight. I'll be on here 6 o'clock tomorrow night on the Serger, making pillowcases. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you all tomorrow night. Okay, bye everybody.